Hi guys, Alan M here, Wild Earth Ambassadors. We've been asked to put together a quick video about a recent excursion we did to the Cooloola Great Walk. So we're just going to talk to you about some of the gear.
Yeah, so the gear that we thought was essential and some of the gear that maybe was suited to other trips and we ended up just lugging around.
Yeah, I think we learned some lessons pretty quickly that if you don't need it, don't take it. We were pretty ruthless when we packed our bags. We both had
we thought we had the lightest bags. Like I think mine was 12.5 and yours was 15 or 16.
About 15, yeah.
And we only had 1 day's water per each of us. And maybe because we wasn't used to it, but I would have been very happy with a 5 kilo bag.
I think there's something to be said about 5 days of continuous walking. We topped out at about just close to 100 kilometres. And yeah, your poor little feet after 100 k's, it's pretty tough on them, particularly if you're carrying a big bag. Which probably leads us to talk about the first thing we would say are essentials is a good pair of hiking boots.
Yeah.
So we were tipped off to get some of these North Face ones. These are the Future Lights. They were pretty good for the course, I think.
Yeah, they were good. They were rugged and waterproof, and because on this walk in particular, there's all different terrains. So there's sand and bush, and then soft sand and hard sand on the beach, and then there's
some rainforest and creeks and things. So it's essential to have some good shoes, and the waterproof just added to that, helping that out for us. We didn't have soggy socks or anything, so yeah, that was probably the first.
Yeah, I would go those boots again. The next stuff we'd probably talk about is cooking, because we found when we were packing, a lot of your weight came from your water and your food, which are obviously essentials. You have to take them. We didn't want to just be able to make hot water, so we took the JetBoil Minomo, and this one, unlike some of the others, has how would you call it?
It has a simmer feature.
Yeah, that's it.
So you can actually warm food or cook food rather than just boil water and add it to dehydrated food.
Yeah, so this just allowed us in the morning, we could cook porridge over the heat and make it perfect, and that was awesome. So I'd definitely do this particular JetBoil again, and it was fine for 2 people. We didn't feel like we had to just keep doing boiling and redoing it because it was small. It was good size for us, I reckon. And then obviously the gases are really small. One thing with this one compared to the JetBoil Flash is you can't put the gas inside because of the other elements, so it does add a little bit of extra size but no extra weight.
But because we went with the small ones, they could be stuffed in side pockets of things, of bags and so on, so that was pretty good.
A big deal, was it? That was good. Oh, and for coffee, which we found very important, we took our AeroPress, which we've always used, which is light but again can be quite big, and we did talk about getting the plunger that fits in the Minimo.
Yeah. Which could be something to look at for our next trip.
And then just one last note on the food. We packed all of our food in a stuff sack just to make sure, just in case there was any storms or it got wet, and obviously for wildlife and stuff, so that was a definite must. And also it kept the pack really tidy. But yeah, I think that's it for food.
Yeah. For any multi-day hike, I think one of the most essential things you could possibly have would be obviously a tent. It's going to be where you sleep, it's going to keep you dry at night, and we did a little bit of research into ours. We wanted something that obviously we could fit on our back really easy, that didn't fill our bag up and basically make it too heavy. We went with the big Agnes Tigerwall. It's a 2-man tent, or a couple. It's extremely light. This one weighs in at 900 grams.
Yeah, it's around
So it's less than a kilo. It's extremely light, really easy to put up, literally in minutes. And that was definitely an essential for us. So find yourself a good tent. We like this big Agnes.
I agree with that. From my point of view, this was still a holiday, so we wanted to, have some little cozy den that you could go in and you had a bit of privacy and was comfortable.
And also Emily has that soft English skin that mosquitoes seem to love.
And
so
this is perfect.
A mesh was perfect.
Yeah, so that was really good. And then for our actual bedding, we used Sea to Summit again, their roll mats.
Don't take it out of the bag.
Yeah, so we learned that this mat was really good. It's really light and you can clip it onto the outside of your bag and perfect night's sleep. But in next time, we would take a compression bag or some sort of sling as to not use this bag, the storage bag, because the storage bag just takes a lot of frustrating time in the morning. Even just a sling would be great.
We did this trip in winter, so we packed fairly warm clothing and warm bedding. Probably didn't need to. When you've got 2 people in a little 2-man tent, it gets pretty warm.
Yeah.
So we actually had...
so we took the Thermolight Reactor, which is basically a sleeping bag liner that does all kinds of awesome stuff. And it's kind of very soft, fleecy fabric, but it adds a lot of degrees within your sleeping bag. So we took this thinking, oh, that is all what we would need. But then because I was like nervous, thinking, oh, it could get so much colder, we decided to take our winter sleeping bag to put as a duvet over the top of us. It was very cozy and very warm, but definitely overkill for the environment we were in.
This is the Ascent 3, and
minus
it's actually
18.
made for minus 18 degrees, so...
And I don't think it got below like maybe 15.
I don't think it got below 0, so it was obviously overkill.
So
had our time again, probably just something like that, or we've since discovered...
The Rumpel blanket, so it's like that, it's like a synthetic down blanket that folds up small, and so we could have that as a shared duvet. So that's our bedding. Oh, and pillows. We just took the blow-up pillows, which are awesome.
We've used before. They were great.
Yeah.
Emily doesn't use one anyway because she sleeps on my arm. But for me, must have a pillow. And these little Cedar Summit blow-up ones are perfect. The inflatables.
Yeah, cool. So that, what have we done? We did kitchen, bedding. Oh, electronics. So electronics. We took this Goal Zero panel because we didn't really use our phones, to be honest. We took this and hung it on the back. Actually, it had to be on the front. It was a beautiful accessory on our bag. So we used this mostly to charge our camera and our little GPS, which is Garmin GPS.
So partners with the Goal Zero battery pack.
We found this really good, and it is effective, and it does charge this really well. However, there was 2 days on the Cooloola walk where you are in the rainforest and you do not get any solid sunlight to use the panel. So if we did that particular walk in, I would take a second pack if you're relying on electronics like your camera or your GPS. That would be my main thing. But on another walk, you'd probably be fine with that, to be honest.
Yeah, well, we've only ever used one and it's been fine, but the second one would have been handy.
Oh, and we took their torch, their lantern, which is really cool. It's got 4 settings, and one of them is this, I think it needs to be charged, but one of them is this nice kind of soft lantern light, which is good in the tent, and then the other one is a quite bright torch, so if you're walking around camp. So that's a versatile torch.
We also both have head torches, so the Petzl Actic, which is great setting up a camp. A couple of times you walk all day, you get to camp on dusk, and although this tent is extremely easy, you still have little pegs and guy ropes and things to tie in, so having some head torch light was essential for us.
Yeah.
Grab one, they're cheap, they're easy, they're light, and very useful.
And very stylish, wouldn't you say? Cool.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Okay, so what else?
The Cooloola track is also a really good, albeit a long one, it's a good one for maybe not inexperienced, but intermediate walkers, because although it's a long walk, each day the campsite has got some bush toilet facilities and rainwater.
Yeah, that's good.
So we took, having done a bit of research into the walk, knowing that there was fresh rainwater, it does say that it's not potable and will need to be treated.
It's a Grail, I'm not sure the actual name, Grail GeoPress. And this is so good because it's instant water. It's literally this easy. When we first got it, I was read the manual 3 times because I didn't believe that it was going to be safe. So you put your water in there from the rainwater tank, or a large puddle, or anything that's fresh water, so a lake, anything. And then you literally put this on, turn the top to let the air out, so there's a green dot, and then press down.
it just filters it through this.
So you don't need to boil it, and in the winter it's so good because the water's normally pretty cold and it's not really that nice drinking warm water, especially if you're boiling it and then you have to wait. So it's really good. It's just like instant.
We took water bottles such as this, again an Earthwell vacuum sealed bottle. Holds, this one is,
I think it's a litre.
Just under a litre. It was great, but they are a little bit heavy. We've since also sourced some of those rubber bladder type water bottles, which
and we
are a bit
we
lighter.
actually did take one of those, but we've left it in the car, so we can't show it to you. But that water bottle was the best out of the two.
And as you drink the water, the water bottle gets smaller. So if you are packing it in your bag, you can compress the air out of it and stuff it back in your bag. So.
Yeah. So we did make one large mistake on our walk with the bags.
Yeah.
So because we probably underestimated, we thought, oh, we're so strong, we can walk, this is going to be great, the bag won't be an issue. And then so we took these bags that had been in our dad's garage from when Al went to Europe. How many?
2003.
Yeah, so very old bags, and we were like, yeah, they'll be fine. And we did realise after probably the first day or the second day that we made a mistake with the bags, because the straps, mine in particular was a man's bag, so it didn't fit well. So I was getting quite like not terrible, but some bruising from the straps, and the bags didn't sit well on our backs, did they? Just because they weren't fitted to us, and probably the foam inside of the straps had disappeared over the years in the garage. So that is one thing that I would never underestimate now, getting a comfortable bag. Like full respect to a good bag. Yeah,
get one fitted, get one that suits you. And ours were probably too big too. I think ours was sort of the 60 litre mark, 55, 60 litres. If you're only taking 10 to 15 kilos, you can get away with something bit smaller, I think.
Yeah.
I think that's about all we can really mention today. Hope this helps. If you need any tips or ideas, or if you've got any questions you want to ask about the Cooloola track or multi-day hikes,
leave us a comment.
Yeah, jump on and shoot us a comment. We can hopefully answer your questions.
Yeah. Have fun, guys. Thanks for listening.